Welcome to the Out of Bounds podcast. My name is Jabril McKeithen. This episode is brought to you by Anchor. Anchor is a platform like myself to showcase their talents and broadcast them to the rest of the world. Thank you, Anchor, for being able to put myself out there on podcast stations such as Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Overcast, and many more podcast stations. We really appreciate you guys. But all right, y'all, let's get into the Out of Bounds podcast. Let's talk about the Sixers today. Ever, man. Muhammad Ali himself. You see the red gloves on there? Hands are lightning. Do you dirty? Just had to shout the shirt out real quick. But welcome to the podcast. We about to get ready, get into the Sixers game versus the Jazz last night. Let's talk about it. Man. Ben Simmons, big points scored by our point guard, 42 to be exact. Who would have thought that we was gonna get this type of production from this brother last night? He was looking great out there, being aggressive, taking all the shots that he's supposed to be taking, especially with Joel Embiid out. It was looking great out there. It was looking good, but unfortunately we ended up with a loss. But let's talk about it. Let's get into it a little bit. I joined a little late into the first quarter, you guys know. I wish I was in there a little earlier, but I had some things to take care of before I could get into the show, to the Sixers game. But yeah, I got into it a little late in the first. We were up 40-30 when I first joined, and it was just looking. I thought we was going to win this game, honestly, y'all. I really did think we was going to win. Benson was looking aggressive. I think he finished the first quarter with like 19 points, or it was like 14 and a couple assists that brought him up to like 19. But either way, I knew it was going to be an aggressive game from him. He was looking great out there, playing defense as well. We was looking good out there for the first couple of quarters. Tobias Harris was playing nice as well. He had 14 in the first. So it was looking really good out there. Without Joel Embiid, you guys would have thought that our defense would have shrunk down a little bit, but we still look pretty good out there. Dwight Howard was starting. No, Mike Scott was out there starting for us, actually. Dwight Howard came off the bench. But even with him, we still look good. We was up by 10 in the first. So it was nothing I could be ashamed of in the first quarter. We looked really good out there. In the second quarter, we kind of got off a little sloppy, a little slow. On the Jazz, they got into a little 10-point run with Joe Ingles. Joe Ingles was getting hot out there for a couple. He had like 4 or 5 in the second, had like a couple buckets right back to back. They was looking good out there. And then our bench is kind of looking a little iffy without Shake Milton in there, but still looking good. Otherwise, we should definitely be getting better production from our bench unit, especially with guys like Tyrese Maxey out there, Matisse Thybulle, Furkan Korkmaz. Like, we should expect better from them, better play from them. They should be getting to their spots, making better shots, making better decisions. I feel like this game we really lost because of our decision making. We finished with what was it? It was like we finished with 12 turnovers. I feel like we should have minimized those. A lot of those were a lot of stupid turnovers, a lot of just soft passes. Nobody was catching nothing. Everybody was just throwing the ball one way and just not catching it. But still in the second quarter, another thing I saw, the refs were calling a lot of fouls for the Jazz at one point. I kind of wish that didn't happen because a lot of the calls that they were getting, we wasn't getting on one end. So I was kind of upset about that. Should have been a little better than that. One thing to talk about, another thing to talk about, Tobias Harris, another guard, one of our players who should be playing like an all-star, should be an all-star this year. He was playing good. He finished with 36. He was being pretty consistent tonight, 14 to 24 shots. He was looking good, 3 of 5. He kept playing good. He was playing his hardest out there, but what can you do if you got the refs against you? You know what I'm saying? What can you guys do? Let's see. What else we got to talk about? The Sixers, I don't know. The Sixers just we look like we missed Shake Milton and Joel Embiid. Without Joel Embiid, obviously, who is a front runner for the MVP this year, we're obviously going to lose the offense, the scoring that we get from him. We're definitely going to be missing that, especially Shake Milton coming off the bench. You know, he usually averages like around 12. He can really get you 12, 14 off the bench. Definitely missed that. Our bench was definitely missing him. Definitely missing the rotation pieces that we usually get, the people who would come off the bench. Our stars would get the rest that they usually aren't used to. And the good players that we know are usually getting less minutes and getting better shots and production, especially with Doc Rivers as our coach. I'm sure it would have been a lot better if we had Joel Embiid in there. But we just gotta play when we know one of our biggest stars ain't out there. And tonight we just got beat by a very good Utah Jazz team. Let's not sleep on the Jazz though, y'all. Let's not sleep on the Jazz. They got very good scorers. Like I said, Joe Ingles got hot in the second quarter. He had a couple shots in there, hitting a couple back-to-back shots. They also got Donovan Mitchell. Don't sleep on him, you know. You guys know about him. Little rough night for him tonight, though. 9 to 24 shooting. Nothing crazy, but can't be sleeping on Donovan Mitchell. He can get hot pretty well. You see in the playoffs last year. Bogdanovich, he had a couple shots in there. He hit a couple to put him up a little bit. But yeah, let's talk about the biggest thing that killed us this on our defensive wise. Let's talk about Jordan Clarkson, guys. 40 points. 40 points to somebody off the bench. No one would expect that. You had Jordan Clarkson coming off the bench and get 40, and Ben Simmons as a starter with 42. It really shouldn't be happening like that, but that's what happened. He came off the bench. He was killing us, making 3-point shots, getting a lot of trips to the foul line, a couple of bad fouls from our team, and he got a couple. I think he had like 2 or 3 3-point fouls, 3-point shots that ended up being fouls, and then he went to the line. I think he made all of them except for one. So when you get into the free throw line like they were last night, what can you guys really do? They shot 31 free throw shots. We shot 24. So what can you really do if the refs are on your side? You know, what else can you really do as a good team, especially in the East? We're looking nice. We should be a lot better. We should have won this game, but we are on a West road trip right now. So without being at home, that definitely will affect us. We're on the road. I think this is the end. I think we end up playing Houston next. They aren't too good, so I think we'll be back at home for them. We got to beat those guys. Got to beat up on DeMarcus Cousins and John Wall. Got to see what we do. Joel Embiid is looking like he should be a healthy availability for the game, so should be looking like the normal Sixers team that we all know and love. But yeah, just the Sixers, I don't know. This game just wasn't. It was like getting very unwatchable towards the third. It was almost unwatchable. The defense wasn't looking good. The offense, we were getting terrible turnovers, just looking like we were just looking lazy out there. Only guys that were playing aggressive was Ben Simmons and Tobias Harris. Tobias ended up ending the game with 36, like I said. You gotta love that. We gotta love the effort from there. Danny Green, who we picked up from the Lakers. I know he was a free agent, I think we signed him. He wasn't looking too good. 1 for 6, 1 for 4 from the 3-point line. 3 points. He's not the Danny Green of old from the Spurs, not the straight 3-point shooter, but he should still be hitting at least like three of these 3-pointers at least, get you like 9 points. 3 just isn't enough. But he's there for the experience and the veteran leadership, so I can't be too mad about what he's doing, the production that we're getting from him. Mike Scott, he was in place for Joel Embiid tonight. He's not Joel Embiid. What can I say? How much can you really expect from Mike Scott? I'm sure he didn't even think he was going to come into this game starting. Seth Curry, another Curry brother. Don't sleep on the Curry brothers. I'm telling y'all, these Curry brothers will get hot. Seth Curry had a couple games where he was returning from COVID. He had 11 points tonight. Can't be really too mad. I'm sure he's still recovering, trying to get back into full shape. So we just got to wait. So later on to the season, I'm sure Seth Curry will look like his old self, look like the true Curry brother that we know and love. So I can't be too mad with his production. 5 of 10 shooting. Can't be too mad about that. Dwight Howard. Let's talk about Dwight Howard while we're here. You got Dwight Howard. He had 14 points, 12 rebounds off the bench. Can't be mad at that. I really can't be mad at that. So also, he had at the end of the game, was told that Dwight Howard had a death in the family, which is kind of crazy, you know. All love and respect to Dwight Howard for getting out there and playing for us. Definitely could have just sat down, you know, deal with the loss of his family. That's something that's heavy on the heart. That's something that's going to hit you. So all respect to Dwight Howard, man. I hope whatever's going on, I hope you come over it. I hope the family gets all the love and shout and just get well, you know. I hope you guys are all good. But other than that, y'all, the Sixers ended up losing 123-134. The fourth quarter, like I said, it was getting unwatchable. It was getting unbearable. Gotta see more effort from the Sixers if you want to win games like this against the Utah Jazz, especially if Ben Simmons is going to come out hot and get 42 points for you. Career high night for him. Also wanted to talk about his free throw shooting, 12 of 13. Usually he isn't shooting that good. I think he's like a 60% free throw shooter. So to see him go 12 of 13 from the line was really impressive. Had a steal in the block. He was guarding out there. He was doing everything he possibly could for this Sixers team, but obviously it wasn't enough. Couldn't stop Jordan Clarkson. He was out there killing us. Donovan Mitchell had 24. Joe Ingles had 20. He was killing us. I'm telling you, you got to stop these brothers. And white brothers will get you. They get hot real quick. They like the 3-point line, so they'll shoot the lights out. That's a team who loves the 3 rather than taking the 2 and going to the paint. Especially with their big man Rudy Gobert. He really isn't all that. Quote from Ben Simmons himself talking about how soft Rudy Gobert is. Quote from Ben Simmons, reading it word for word, bar for bar. I love when I saw Rudy Gobert was guarding me, Ben Simmons said. I feel it was a little bit of disrespect putting him on me. Man, that brother Rudy Gobert is softer than a bag of baguettes, man. I'm telling you, man. He should not be in the NBA, but he got his money, so I can't really blame the brother. You get your money, you got paid, so cha-ching, you know what I'm saying? So, but he's still soft. He had 40. He let Ben Simmons drop 42 on you, man. Come on now. Ain't really worried about that boy. So, unfortunately, we lost. We did lose. We got to move on. Honestly, I think with this loss, I think it shows a lot about how much we miss Shake Milton, how much of Joel Embiid is a factor on our team. But obviously, we all knew how much of a factor Joel Embiid was going to be. As I said, front runner for the MVP. I believe he is the MVP, putting up, what is it? I think he's putting up like 28, damn near almost 29 points at this point. But I'm sure, honestly, I really do believe Joel Embiid will win the MVP. He a better big man than Nikola Jokic. Kevin Durant's looking nice, but when you got a team with James Harden, Kyrie Irving, like, how you gonna give? How can you give the MVP to Kevin Durant? We got two other superstars on your team. Can't even call them all stars. They tiers above that. They tiers above an all star. But I believe Joel Embiid gonna win it this year. I think this is our year. We still first in the Eastern Conference. We still looking good. Got a nice Houston team that's coming up next on our lineup. So we gotta play them. I'm sure we'll be good against them. And then towards the end of the line, I do see the Sixers hopefully making some trades. I'm sure we got some. I see Bielisa from the Kings was a trade target we were looking at. We're also looking at George Hill, Delon Wright from the Pistons. I don't believe we need guard playing our off our bench. I feel like Tyrese Maxey can still he can be consistent, but he's been getting inconsistent minutes right now. But I can see him being a more consistent guard. He is only a rookie. We still got time to develop him. Got Shake Milton. He's injured. Gotta wait for him to come back. I don't think we need guards. I feel like if anything, we should get a backup for it, like a Bielisa who can come off the bench and shoot at a high percentage, get you the points off the 3-point line. We need a lot of 3-point shooting. Our 3-point shooting wasn't looking too great tonight or last night. We shot, to be exact, 8 of 23 from the 3-point line. Like I said, that's really what did it for us. The Utah Jazz was killing us off the 3-point line. We was making a lot of twos. Ben Simmons was driving into the paint, being aggressive with it, putting up little floaters, off the glass layups. How can you win when you go in twos against threes? It didn't look that good. But other than that, y'all, I'm sure the Sixers going to step it up. I'm not too worried about this Jazz game. Although this is a nice Jazz team, I don't think they'll be going too far into the playoffs. Matchups like the Lakers, the Clippers, or I guess those are really the main two. Those are the main two teams we got to worry about. Got to get focused for the Western Conference. As we'll see them if we end up going to the finals, that'll be the team we'll be going up against, one of those two. And then the Eastern Conference, we got to worry about the Bucks. Not too worried about. Giannis isn't all that. He's a little hyped up. Who else is in the East? The Nets, we got to worry about the Nets. Definitely got to worry about them. We still haven't played them fully healthy, so we don't even know what that matchup is really going to look like. But we'll see. Like this is a season where wins do matter in the regular season. So we got to get as many wins as we can, get ourselves high enough into the playoffs, and get that first seed. But we'll see what goes on with the Sixers. We'll see what moves they make in order to make us a better team. We were talking about Zach LaVine getting into the roster somehow. We're going to trade a couple pieces for him. Doesn't look like that's going to be happening. They keep winning games. Him and Kobe White keep balling out. Bradley Beal, I don't think he's getting traded. He said he wants to stay a Wizard, so we'll see what happens with that. I doubt we're going to be getting another big guard, a big-time scorer for our team, especially if we're not going to be trading Ben Simmons. I don't believe we should trade Ben Simmons at this point of the Sixers' career right now. I think Ben Simmons has proved that he knows what he's doing. He's being more aggressive. He's playing defense, getting the team involved, getting a lot of 3-point opportunities for other scorers like Seth Curry, Furkan, and Danny Green himself. They just got to make the shots at this point. So I can't really blame it all on Ben Simmons for what our team is looking like. So I think we just need to make a couple bench pieces, make a couple moves for our bench to make it a little better. But we'll see what happens going on with the rest of the Sixers. We just gotta keep seeing. We just gotta wait and see how we look down the line. I believe we're going to be a great playoff team. I believe this game was a nice game, but I feel like there's a lot more room for the Sixers to grow. We have a lot of potential, especially without Joel Embiid. We only lost by 11. Should have been a lot worse in my eyes, but when you got Ben Simmons scoring 42, don't forget, 42, career high. It's a career night, y'all. But can't really be mad. We lost to the Jazz. We got the Houston Rockets next week or next game, so we just got to focus on that. But I'm sure we'll be fine. We'll be good. But yeah, y'all. Thank you for tuning in to the podcast. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Be on tune for the next episode next week if you guys want. Like I said in my last video, follow me on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. Get into my life a little bit, see what I'm about. All right, y'all. Hope y'all enjoyed. Thank you for tuning in.
Have a good one.